Hey everyone, I want to talk today about the mod tools that are currently available to the public, as well as the ones that just got announced, and wow, they look awesome. So we can expect these tools as soon as May, but I'm guessing we'll get them by the end of May, or maybe the first week of June. So the mod tools that were announced were the Mod Manager and the Level Editor. First of all, I'm going to talk about the Mod Manager, which will allow us to edit existing characters, as well as import unique character models with our own custom animations and skins. And with that, you'll also be able to change in-game variables, such as things like tweak virtually any asset in the game, as well as weapons with all unique variable edits. This is from my understanding based on what they've said so far. According to their PAX presentation event, it seemed that we will be able to do pretty much exactly that. So then by the end of this year, we'll also be getting a level editor, which is pretty much the biggest news of them all, as we'll be able to manipulate the game to like massive extents, so that's going to be really cool. And yeah, I mean, like, if anybody wants to add anything to the game that isn't already there, or if you want to expand or fix up some of the areas that, you know, aren't finished. I know a lot of people talk about all these unused spaces that had potential, so people will be finally able to actually add in stuff for that and do potentially mini games and quests. I mean, there's a lot you can do with the editor. I mean, they pretty much just barely showed it in the video, but they described that you'll be able to do all kinds of things. I mean, you see in the video there's a flowchart editor, which you can see in such game engines like their own official Luminous Studio game engine, as well as the Unreal Engine 4. So it's a pretty powerful, diverse tool. Personally for me, I'm actually really excited about creating like the secret dungeon, like a map like the secret dungeon that was in the game with all the puzzles and stuff. As tedious as that was and uneventful for some, it was really unique, and it pretty much shows that there was a lot the game engine can do and what was potentially possible for the game that wasn't really used. There's a lot of good stuff you could make. You could do fixed camera angles, you could make scenarios and scenes from potentially past Final Fantasy games. They did also mention that you can edit the UI, so I just also want to mention about the fact that they also established that there was going to be an alternate ending to the game. I thought I'd bring this up because of a recent stream moment that I saw that was kind of ironic about what people say about the ending of Final Fantasy. Just warning before I talk about this segment does contain spoilers, so if you want to, you can skip ahead.
Hi. It's goodbye for now. It sure is.
Trust in them, always.
Of course. I die for them. Aw, look at Icky. Oh, that's so cute. Look at them. That's adorable. It's so pretty. Prompto's so excited. I love it. I have a loving wife here and I'm going to marry her. I cannot wait to see her. Oh my god! What? First you take his father away, now her? What the f—
I'll tell the others,
Ignis!
though it may take a bit. You're hurt. And Luna? She has passed.
I want to continue playing. And here I was the impression that at the end, Luna and Noctis would be together. Like, trying to not cry too much because I am crying right now and I don't like it.
Up until chapter 9, and then it hurt. It hurt a lot.
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, you
Mystery.
Oh, you absolute Come here, Arden, you
That's all she's got. It'll do.
Oh, now the car's dead too!
As you can hear, there was a pretty impactful response from the streamer here. And yeah, it you know, personally I thought the ending was fine. It is quite a jarring change, but this picture depicting Arden as you know, a good guy and everybody getting along, I'm not really too sure what that's about. I actually think that was more to do with the making it your own segment of the PAX presentation, which when they were talking about basically editing the game, but who knows, I mean, it could actually be a portion of the alternate ending. If it is, it's going to be quite different, and I'm not really too sure how that's going to work, but I'm really excited for the extra DLCs for the other characters. There's a bit more to delve into with those stories, so I'm excited for that. So, the modding tools. What do we have right now? What can we do with Final Fantasy 15? Well, I noticed while I was researching for this initially a few weeks back before I started, I think it was about a month ago now, I found that a lot of mod tools are quite hidden, and they're not easy to find out about, basically. I'm not really too sure why. There doesn't seem to be one place where they all seem to be located. I looked on Nexus Mods, and it seems that I think they might have added them there now, but they weren't there a few weeks back. There was basically some private forum posts, and now they seem to be all available. So the mod tools that are currently available are a program called Special K, which is a real-time editor for textures, where you can basically find a texture in the game. You can dump it to your hard drive and then edit it, and then basically place it in a folder, and it automatically goes back into the game. I'm pretty sure you have to either reload the game, like the save, but I think the best way is to actually just reload the entire exe. It's the fastest way of modding textures, because if you wanted to make a custom skin, this process is like majorly sped up than the alternative way, which is to actually extract the texture and then convert the texture file into an editable format. So it has to go from a BTEX format to a DDS format, which can be opened in Photoshop with a freely available plugin. So the last process after extracting, converting, you have to then convert it back and then re-import it. So that process can take a few minutes versus a few seconds, so it's much better to just test it with the Special K mod tool. So if you're happy with what you've made with the Special K mod tool, it's definitely easier for people who don't want to install the program to just replace their existing EARC files. That's definitely more convenient, but I personally think that people who want to be adding and removing textures quite frequently, it's probably easier just to add the Special K mod and just drop those textures in there. Aside from that, there is no current way that I'm aware of actually importing new assets into the game, like completely freshly made. Generally, all you can do at the moment is actually just swap the in-game assets around, and some of them either load or they don't load. They can crash, or they can, you know, they show up invisible, stuff like that. So yeah, basically all you can do at the moment is edit skins and swap around assets, which isn't too amazing, but so far I've managed to make some interesting things. Also, people who have questions about the debug version of Final Fantasy 15, of course I won't be able to give a link to that, as it is a leaked file on the internet. I'm not really too sure where it came from, how it came about, but apparently a build of the game from the developer standpoint was leaked on the internet. It's an exe that basically allows for a few functions that aren't actually in the game, such as the debug system, so you can actually do a lot of quick changes to the game and cheats, stuff like that. It's a pretty useful tool, but obviously it's not very practical, because people shouldn't really be having to find a custom exe to replace their existing Steam exe, because it's quite awkward, as you know. So I don't really promote that. It's just that that is one way of actually kind of doing interesting edits and cheats, but of course when the mod tools are available, that won't even be needed. And I'm also working on a console app to go with the main retail version of the game, so that should allow for pretty much the same kind of stuff as the debug version will do, such as editing like variables such as teleporting the character around and changing the jump and making it limitless jump and all that again, such as the debug version. So yeah, stay tuned for that too. So there has been some progress in terms of making more characters playable that aren't normally playable. Apparently there is a way to load Luna into the game. I saw a screenshot recently. It's sort of been posted around Twitter. I couldn't actually find the origin of the screenshots. I recently noticed that the character actually had playable functions, and you know, obviously can also be added to the party, but actually shows up invisible in the game currently. So I noticed that the character is obviously designed to be playable, knowing that there was obviously going to be a DLC before they officially announced it for Luna, so that was pretty insightful. This could probably also be the same for Arden as well, but they may have not actually started working on that. I haven't actually seen any information in the game files about a playable version of Arden just yet, so it seems that they might be just working on Luna and a few other characters currently. So that's pretty much everything. I'm going to show a breakdown of how you actually do this. Generally, it's pretty straightforward, there's not a lot to it. So for anyone wondering, there is a link in the description to all the mod tools mentioned in this video, and please like and subscribe to the video and if you enjoyed it. And subscribe for more. I'll be hopefully posting videos at least weekly. I would like to make videos every day, but I'm a little busy at the moment, so I can't make videos as frequently as I would like. But as soon as there are advancements in these modding applications and Final Fantasy modding in general, I will be making updates and new content for you to see and download, and yeah, keeping you posted with what's possible and available with the Final Fantasy 15 modding community. Thanks for watching. 見てくれてありがとうございました。